Hey guys, I'm Xenia.
And I'm Jeff, and this is our new series, Grounded and Homesick.
Yes, most of you guys know me as singer-songwriter, former voice contestant. We wanted to sit down and talk about some hard topics, some hard issues that we have gone through, and things that the Lord has done in our lives that we want to talk about.
It sounded like you were saying heart topics and heart issues, which they are those things, but they're hard topics, but they're heart topics as well.
Hard to talk about, but they are heart issues.
I don't want to interrupt you,
so
but
both
I kind of like that.
Hard heart, that's true, hard heart.
Hard heart.
That's good, that's true. So, we're going to be talking about a lot of things.
A
variety. Coffee, the music industry, songwriting. We're going to talk about drug addiction. We're going to talk about Jesus. We're going to talk about even like being healthy. Both of us have not been the healthiest, and we just kind of what it looks like to be healthy, get back into that, eating healthy, exercising. We want to talk about our love for coffee. We want to talk about our love for Jesus. Obviously, all these topics will be centered around Jesus and our hope in Him and what He has done.
Yes, the doors He continues to open.
Right. For those of you who don't know, this is my fiancé. Why don't you tell us your name and where you're from?
My name is Jeffrey Andrew Willie. I am from Corona, California. Currently reside in Franklin, Tennessee, the big TN.
And how old are you?
I am 30 years old. 30 years young.
I thought you were going to say 38.
Nah.
Yeah, 30, okay.
She wishes.
No. Okay, cool. What is your favorite coffee to drink?
Favorite coffee to drink? It's a toughie actually. I like a lot of coffee. A variety of coffee. I don't know. I don't have a favorite one.
He loves all coffee.
I love everything.
Anything you put in front of him, anything
Devoured.
he will drink. Like anything, pretty much even in food. Anything edible, anything you can consume.
Besides uni. I think that's like the only thing I tasted that I didn't like.
Well, besides uni,
which is sea urchin.
Besides sea urchin, he likes everything. If you had to pick a favorite coffee, though, if you said, you know what, like, if I had to pick one coffee to drink, what would it be?
What is that, like honey cinnamon oat?
A honey cinnamon latte?
Yeah.
Oat milk?
Yeah.
Oat milk, honey cinnamon
whatever
latte?
that.
Yes.
You make
oat
it.
Milk,
she makes it for me.
An oat milk, honey cinnamon latte. All right.
My favorite name, I don't even know if it's not coffee because it's called chai tea, but she calls it a dirty chai.
I don't call it that. That's what it's called.
Oh, it's delicious.
He thinks I call it a dirty chai just for fun. That's the name of it.
I've never heard that before.
Because you weren't really a coffee person until I came into your
What do you mean I'm not a coffee person?
You weren't like
you
were in the coffee scene though, you know what I'm saying?
I didn't know how to vibe with coffee.
He was more of like a coffee, whatever, just as coffee, yeah. He wasn't really like into the coffee culture.
The aesthetics of coffee.
Because if not, you would know it's called dirty chai.
Yeah.
Anyway, and you would know that it's espresso.
Espresso?
Espresso, not espresso.
That's what I said. Espresso.
One of my biggest pet peeves is when people say espresso and not espresso. He is the exception because he's the only person on this planet that I'm like, you know what? I love you even though you say espresso.
I love you too. Thank you.
But back to what we were talking about.
That drifted.
So we just sat down one day having some conversations about life, and we thought, you know what, it might be a good idea. We would love to sit down and talk about all of the things that we've been through. We've been through some just crazy things, and I think
pretty
horrific things that
my doing, but
that the Lord ended up using for good. And just kind of like how that played out, because I think something that we even talked about recently is, you know, in our failures, in our disobedience, the Lord can still use those things for His purposes, for His kingdom, to show His greatness and to ultimately point to Him. And I think neither of us ever thought we would go or would want to go through the things that we've been through, but we did.
Yeah, I think one of the coolest things I like to hear, I heard was a testimony can be a powerful thing, but it's a pain to get.
Yeah,
and
that's very true.
I feel our testimony, or my testimony and your testimony, has both
been a pain for sure. Oh
yes, but leading us to the Lord.
Right.
Come on.
So that's pretty much what we want to talk about in all of these series, and a big one that's kind of going to be like the ongoing topic is going to be drug addiction, just because that has played a very big part of our lives and our relationship with the Lord now, where we're at, and kind of even moving forward into our future. Like, it all kind of just, I think a big part of that is drug addiction, and we are hoping to talk about it for those. I mean, like we were saying, like there's a big stigma around drug addiction. We want to shed some light on it, and people who do struggle with that are afraid to talk about it, open up about it. And even on the other side, I think once it's in your testimony, it's like a beautiful thing, like wow, like the Lord saved you, which is amazing. But I don't think they really dive into what drug addiction is and what it looks like.
Yeah, I feel like when it's addressed, it's kind of like shoved into a corner to where it's being like kind of managed, but at the same time, there's a fear behind it, because addiction can be powerful, it can be controlling, it can lead you to do things that, in a sober mind and, you know, with the Lord, things that you would never consider whatsoever. So I think it's just one of those things to where it's really hard to gauge and to be aware of. And for me, I come from, you know, a very drug addictive past for over 13 years. And I feel with that, when I first came to the Lord thinking I was saved,
when you first heard about the Lord.
When I was deep and just done and no hope and thinking pit and despair and this is my life, almost accepting that this was going to be my life, I gave one last like flicker of light in that darkness, and I was just like, okay, like let's see what he has for me. And I started going to church, and you know, even though I was going to church, I never wanted to admit what my past was. I held on to that. I didn't fully submit to the Lord. I held on to my past, my shame, my guilt. I didn't want to share it with anybody. I just wanted to be a new person. I didn't want to have to deal with it. Yeah, and like have people, because the stigma behind addiction and the things, the stupidity that, you know, goes along with it and the things you do. I mean, you don't want people to see you that way, even though you've been that way for X amount of years. So I tried changing myself completely, and ultimately ended up failing, going back into my sin. And luckily I met this woman, because you know, where I thought I was solid, my weaknesses and my convictions, he ultimately revealed to me, and she was there to guide me through all that. So I thank the Lord every day for it.
That's pretty much kind of like, I guess, a big, just like I said earlier, a big part of all of this and why we want to do this and talk about it. I think the drug world has just really impacted me, and obviously dating somebody with a past, you know, in drug addiction, and obviously we will go into more of that when we talk about that topic.
You all ain't ready for this.
Yeah, so we'll definitely go into more like details on just like the things of, you know, what that looked like and whatnot, but two sides of the story of like somebody that's in it deep and somebody that obviously is with and loves somebody that is in it and has struggled with it in the past, and so that's going to be a big
kind of how to navigate through all that, because I think that was one of your biggest issues, was searching for answers that couldn't be found. So we're hoping this may shed light
and be an encouragement,
you know, on both sides as well, you know, coming from past addict and the one dealing with the past addict.
Right. Yeah.
And I think the pain as well on your end is, how did I not see that before? and where was the line to where this person felt they couldn't talk to me?
Yeah.
And then the other side is the shamefulness of that person not being able to talk to them because, oh, I don't want to be seen this way. And like, I think that's a big deal of it, is admitting and repenting of all that. And, you know, it's hard.
Yeah. On our drug addiction week, that video will definitely go into more, but we just want to make videos to encourage people in a lot of different topics and things that we've learned, the mistakes that we've made, and the regrets, so that hopefully in watching our videos, people, you know, hopefully learn from our mistakes. And
yeah, we do not have it figured out
yeah.
whatsoever. We are still learning daily from each other, from the Lord.
Obviously made a lot of mistakes along the way, I think both of us. But we want to talk about those things. And
find the comfort of just knowing you're not alone.
Yeah.
Not only with the Lord, but in this world as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's other people that have gone through it. And as well as people who just didn't know about what drug addiction looked like, what really looked like. Because I think there's only ever scary stories of like...
That's all I got.
Yeah. Or like, or just like, oh, a drug addict looks like this kind of person.
Yeah. But and you have that weird mug shot of the like cross-eyed dude.
Yeah, and it's like, that's what a drug addict looks
right?
like. And that's not true.
Or the tweaker woman with no teeth.
Right. Like,
right.
Or
they could
violent,
look normal
like,
too.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Or like violent, or, you know, whatever. Like a drug addict is all of these things, and that's not true. Like not every drug addict looks the same.
Yeah.
Not everybody's struggling with those things acts the same. You know, it's the same core hard issue. Like obviously it's all down to the core sin.
Yeah.
But it manifests itself very differently, and I
Completely.
think that's a big part of the stigma is
you never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah. So we're excited to talk about these things. We're excited to share our story.
Share our love.
Share our love. And
for the Lord, of course, not each other.
For the well, yeah, mainly for the Lord, but also, you know, along the way is I will still be releasing music. I'll do some live covers or originals every other week, alternating, you know, with the videos and the singing, as well as doing a different subject. And if any of you guys have any song suggestions that you ever want to hear, feel free to comment. You know, tweet me, whatever it is, and hopefully I can get to the song. I'll probably pick...
You already have a laid out list, but eventually it's going to be like, oh, what should I do next?
Right, and I would love to hear you guys' suggestions.
As well as topics, as well as what we'll be talking about is mainly, you know, addiction and, you know, just our struggles that we went through together. Yeah. But if you guys ever have any questions or comments that you'd like us to bring up, is another... topic builder, you know, so answer to the best of our ability.
Right, do a Q&A.
Yeah, trust in the Lord. He will provide and guide. Come on.
That rhymes. Yeah, so our series is called Grounded and Homesick.
Which grounded is being grounded in the Lord and grounded with Christ, as well as...
Homesick, pretty much meaning homesick for heaven and having that longing, the desire to be home with the Lord. And as we will also be talking about coffee.
Love coffee.
Yes, which also the word grounded, we kind of pulled from that, like grounded coffee. We will be drinking coffee at the beginning and kind of talking about where the beans come from. And
get some sponsorships.
Yes, who provided the delicious beans that we will be drinking. And yes, so that is kind of like what the name, what's behind the name, yeah. But yeah, we are
so excited,
super excited,
super duper excited
to start the series and to let you guys just know us more, share our story, and talk about the Lord. That's pretty much it.
Pull back the curtains, get a little peep into that crazy thing called life, walking with the Lord.
Yeah, so yeah.
And the love I have for this woman.
But yes, so we hope that you tune in and watch, and you share, you like, you subscribe, whatever, and hope we can encourage.
I just want to say, click down below.
Click down below to
There's
subscribe.
nothing's going to be there, but click down below.
Well, they mean like the subscribe, but
yeah.
click down below, and we will see you.
Hit those notifications.
Every week,
Don't want to miss it.
every other week, and we're excited. So, see you later.